came out and said that he was going to sleep you. So I just want to know your comments on those.
Why he ain't take the fight in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't be talking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to tell you, I'm really different. He gonna see firsthand. Because he gets hurt a lot. He flat-footed, and he been dropped multiple times. When he get hit by me, it's gonna be...
Vergil Ortiz Jr. has just blasted Xander Zayas with harsh criticism, while also delivering a chilling warning to Jaron Ennis immediately after Boots stopped Xander Zayas with a devastating 7th-round TKO. Ortiz did not hold anything back when reacting to the fight. Taking to social media, he accused Zayas of quitting after noticing him look toward his corner following the final knockdown. Ortiz wrote, "Xander, you looked straight at your corner after you got dropped that last time. You're a quitter. You performed better than I expected you would, but you're still a quitter. I can't believe I just watched you do that." But Vergil's comments did not end there. He also pointed out that Zayas managed to land several powerful right hands on Boots during the 3rd round. Confident in his own abilities, Ortiz boldly declared, "I'm sleeping Jaron." He insisted that if he lands those exact same punches against Ennis, the outcome will be completely different. Ortiz added with total confidence, "If I catch him like that, I promise you I'm getting him out of there." Meanwhile, Oscar de la Hoya praised both fighters for their performances. He described Ennis as a complete machine, emphasizing the incredible skill, pressure, and dominance he displayed from start to finish throughout the contest. At the same time, de la Hoya gave full credit to Zayas for accepting such a difficult challenge despite having far less experience at the elite level. He also expressed strong confidence that the young Puerto Rican champion will learn valuable lessons from this defeat, make the necessary adjustments, and come back even stronger in the future.
I don't really rush it, I knew it. He a game fighter, he got good fundamentals, he's a solid fighter, and he was a champion for a reason, so you can't just go in there and rush it and try to get the knockout. You gotta be patient, and that's what I did. So, but the second knockdown, I definitely thought he was going. I ain't gonna lie.
I want to count it. I want to see the count back.
Yeah.
What did he get up at? 9 or 10?
He was wobbly too.
Yeah. I felt like he was still on a knee at 9 or 10. I don't believe he was.
Following his dominant TKO victory over Xander Zayas, Jaron Ennis reflected on his performance and made it clear that, despite the impressive finish, he is still fully committed to improving every aspect of his game. Ennis brushed aside criticism from retired champions, former stars, and outspoken rivals, making it clear that his focus remains firmly on reaching the top of the division rather than wasting time responding to opinions or getting involved in social media arguments and online debates. His priority is continuing to grow, dominate the competition, and establish himself as the unquestioned force in the division.
Vergil came out and said that he was going to sleep you. So I just want to know your comments on those.
Why he ain't take the fight in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't be talking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to tell you, I'm really different. He gonna see firsthand. Because he gets hurt a lot. He flat-footed, and he been dropped multiple times. When he get hit by me, it's gonna be different. I'm trying to tell y'all.
He also responded to Vergil Ortiz's recent comments, questioning why the fight between them never came together when opportunities had previously been available. Ennis expressed complete confidence in his abilities, making it clear that he believes he matches up well against any of the top contenders competing in the 154-pound division and is ready to prove himself against whoever steps into the ring with him.
Performance today, I gotta go back and watch it. I'll probably give myself like a C though. I know I'm way better than that, and like a C plus. I'm way better than that. I was into the corner a little bit, not too much. They was telling me to do speed, and I was one shot popping. It's the shots you don't see. I should have been using a little bit more speed, but everything is gonna be good. We're gonna go back to the lab and get ready. And take over this division. Sharpen up.
Despite scoring multiple knockdowns and eventually securing the stoppage, Ennis surprisingly gave his own performance only a C or C+ grade. He admitted that he believes he could have fought with greater speed, followed his corner's instructions more closely, made smarter adjustments throughout the contest, and delivered an even sharper, more complete performance than the one he showed on fight night.
It didn't bother me. You see me? It didn't bother me at all. I know what he can do. And he can take a shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? All y'all guys talking about Boots get hit a lot. Y'all don't say nothing about the other guys getting hit. That's because Boots is relevant. You know what I mean? Boots is out there. Boots don't get hit that much. You see what I mean? How many times he got hit? That's what I'm saying. Y'all keep on saying that, though. Y'all got to start speaking the truth, man. But the other guys get hit, they be get knocked down, all that. He don't get bruised in that. You don't see a mark on his face. And he rolls with the shot, brother. I mean, he get hit with some nice hard shot, but he rolls with the shot.
Following Jaron Boots, Ennis's dominant knockout victory over Xander Zayas, his longtime trainer and father, Vergil Ennis, addressed both the impressive performance and the criticism that continues to surround his son. Vergil firmly pushed back against claims that Boots gets hit too often, arguing that many fans and analysts fail to recognize the subtle defensive skills, ring awareness, and intelligent movement he consistently displays during his fights. He made it clear that the criticism does not affect him in the slightest, saying, "It doesn't bother me. Do I look bothered at all? I know exactly what he can do, and I know he can take a shot." Vergil's message was a direct response to those who continue to question Boots' defensive abilities despite his dominant performances inside the ring.
And he forced that kid to speed up because he came in wanting the box, but it seemed like Jaron didn't let him do that.
No, you see he could outbox him too. You saw what he was doing when he was jabbing. How many jabs he was hitting you with?
In the
You know what I mean?
10 seconds.
He can do that, but he loved to fight. That's why these people come to see him, man.
Yeah.
He put on the show, man.
According to Vergil Ennis, Boots does an excellent job of rolling with punches, reducing the impact of incoming shots, and avoiding unnecessary damage throughout his fights. He pointed out that Ennis consistently leaves the ring without noticeable cuts, swelling, or significant signs of punishment, which he believes is clear evidence of his strong defensive awareness, exceptional ring IQ, and ability to protect himself while remaining aggressive and in complete control of the action.
Fighter. I like Xander. Xander one of my guys that I like, man. That's why you see me hugging him. He's one of them top guys, man, to me. He's a good fighter, man. But I knew he couldn't do nothing with Boots.
Do you think that with this son, what we're doing, we saw a little bit of adversity. Now he protected the team to another level.
Man, I told you something. When y'all ain't seen the best of him yet, they gotta bring it out of my son. You know what I mean? You see when he bring it out, he get nasty. He like to knock everybody out, but I told him relax. Gotta relax. Take your time, man. You know what I mean? But he get excited, man.
Looking ahead, Vergil Ennis identified potential matchups against Sebastian Fundora and Vergil Ortiz Jr. as the kind of high-profile fights that could bring out the absolute best in Jaron "Boots" Ennis. He believes those challenging opponents would allow Boots to showcase his full skill set, prove himself against the division's elite, and further strengthen his position as the dominant force in the 154-pound division while continuing to build his championship legacy.
Oh, no. I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to bring out the best. You know what I mean? You know? But Fundora, I like Fundora. Whatever name, Fundora. I like to fight him. I think Ortiz. That'll be a good fight, Ortiz.
Following Jaron Boots, Ennis's impressive TKO victory over Xander Zayas, former world champion Teofimo Lopez shared his thoughts on the fight and discussed what the result could mean for the future of the 154-pound division. While Lopez praised Ennis for battling through difficult moments, making key adjustments, and ultimately securing the stoppage victory, he also noted that the performance exposed certain areas that other elite contenders may carefully study and look to exploit if they eventually get the opportunity to face Boots inside the ring.
I mean, he overcame some kind of hard spots there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I see things, though, that I think other champions in that weight class or contenders can capitalize. I'm not there yet. I'm at 147. We'll go from there, but for anybody at 154, I hope they saw what I saw tonight.
At the same time, Teofimo Lopez praised Xander Zayas for displaying tremendous heart, remarkable resilience, and the mindset of a true champion despite suffering the first defeat of his professional career. He commended Zayas for refusing to back down, continuing to compete with determination against one of the sport's best fighters, and proving that even in defeat, he possesses the character and potential to return stronger in the future.
Xander, brother, you put up a tremendous
I'm so proud of him, man. He showed a lot of grit, heart of a champion. But I think the main thing that I loved about Xander is that he literally got the experience. He's got it down packed. When he got hurt, he was bouncing and jumping around, like moving around, moving his legs, waking him up. You know, but hey, it happens.
Showed tremendous heart, right? He kept getting up over and over. It was even stopped by the corner. It wasn't even him.
But hey, you know what? That's boxing for you, but
Former two-division world champion Danny Garcia believes Jaron "Boots" Ennis is entering the most dangerous stage of his career following his impressive victory over Xander Zayas. Garcia described Ennis as a fighter who has reached his physical and mental prime, combining elite athletic ability with growing experience and confidence inside the ring. He also praised Boots for possessing the mindset of a true competitor, someone who embraces the toughest challenges, stays composed under pressure, and performs at his very best when the intensity of the battle reaches its highest level.
33, 34, 35, that's when he becomes, I think that's when he becomes the type of fighter you can't hit. You know what I mean?
So what did you kind of tell him in terms of like trying to shore up his defense a little bit? Because when he got hit,
it's not really about when you throw, you're gonna get hit. You know, he loves fighting. He's a fighter at heart. Like I said, with age, the older you get, the smarter you get, the more wiser you get. Then you realize, like, I take less risk and I become more of a boxer. He has that ability. But now he's young and he's in his prime.
Looking ahead, Danny Garcia discussed several intriguing options for Jaron "Boots" Ennis at 154 pounds as he continues his pursuit of the division's biggest fights. He specifically highlighted the potential challenges presented by Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Sebastian Fundora, explaining that both opponents offer very different but equally dangerous tests. Garcia noted that Fundora's extraordinary height, long reach, and awkward style create unique problems for anyone in the division, making him one of the most difficult fighters to prepare for and compete against inside the ring.
Yes. Vergil is, that's Boots' style. He likes when people come to him. You know? You can use all his tricks. It's not gonna be nothing. You don't have to figure nothing out. It's gonna be right in front of him. But Ortiz is a warrior, so he gonna be like Xander. He's gonna fight to the end. But Fundora gives anybody problems. Just because he's 6'7", 154 pounds, southpaw. They made him in a lab somewhere.
Garcia also pointed out that moving up through the higher weight classes becomes increasingly difficult because the fighters are naturally bigger, stronger, more experienced, and more physically established. He emphasized that every move up in weight presents a far more demanding challenge, requiring a fighter to adjust to greater power, size, and strength, making each new step a serious test of skill, durability, and overall championship ability.
On there one time, he's coming up, so he's like Ennis, more 147-pounders who's coming up. And guys like, it's always the guys who give you problems are the guys when you move up, they've been at that weight.
because they're naturally bigger.
Yes. Those are the guys that give you hard problems. But if I'm 140 and I fight a 140 pounder at 147, it's going to be the same thing. But when you go up and you fight a guy who's been there for 10 years, those are the guys who give you a hard fight because they're naturally bigger.
Garcia reserved special praise for Xander Zayas, applauding the young champion for his courage, determination, and willingness to face one of the toughest challenges of his career despite the defeat. He explained that once a fighter reaches championship level and wins multiple world titles, there are no easy routes or simple opportunities to rebuild confidence by facing lesser opposition. Every fight becomes a high-level test against elite competition. Garcia added that he believed Zayas performed very well under the circumstances, saying, "I thought he did great." Although he acknowledged there are still areas where the young fighter can continue to improve, he made it clear that the experience will ultimately help Zayas grow and become an even better fighter in the future.
He did great. I thought he did great, but he still has some. How you doing? I see you, bro. Yes, sir. I thought he did great. He did good, but when you got 2 belts and you're 23, you can't really take a step back. That's what comes with it. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. You got 2 belts. You're a young champion. There's no turning back. So he did what he had to do.
Talk about the heart of Xander. I mean, he kept getting up. Even the fight was stopped by his corner. It wasn't even like he, stayed down. He just kind of nodded, seeing his corner finish it.
Look, when you're a young fighter, you're gonna go out and you shield. That's why people want to see young fighters fight, because that's the type of fight you're gonna get. They don't want to see older fighters who just have some money. They want to see that.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. praised the young champion's bravery, saying that Xander Zayas showed the heart of a lion by continuing to fight even after being hurt early in the contest. However, he ultimately believed that the matchup came too soon in Zayas' career. In Lopez Sr.'s opinion, Zayas still needed more seasoning, valuable experience, and additional time to develop before stepping into the ring with a fighter as complete, skilled, and dangerous as Jaron "Boots" Ennis. He suggested that facing an elite talent of Boots' caliber at this stage was an enormous challenge, even for a highly gifted young champion like Zayas.
Not tonight, Xander surprised me. It was a blowout, but I got to give it to Xander, you know what I'm saying? I think that Xander should have waited a little bit longer, get more experience. and and then fight Boots. It was too early, but if you got to give it to Xander, you got to give it to him. He got a heart of a lion. And
while acknowledging that Jaron Boots, Ennis experienced a few difficult moments during the contest, particularly when Xander Zayas found success with several solid punches in the third round, Teofimo Lopez Sr. maintained that the fight belonged to Boots from the opening bell until the final stoppage. He pointed to Ennis' superior hand speed, precise timing, exceptional ring IQ, and natural instincts as the key factors that allowed him to regain complete control of the action, break Zayas down round by round, and eventually secure the impressive stoppage victory.
I was surprised that they let the fight go that long, because I was really concerned about him getting hurt like that. But that's boxing, their corner decided to let him out. Thank God, I hope he's okay. And there was times there that he could have turned it around, but tonight it was Boots' night. You know what I'm saying?
Do you favor Pandora or
Boots? I don't know if you take man, he had problems a lot of problems he had. Like in the third round, was it right? When Xander was coming back, he hurt him, and it took him about a round to come back. For Boots to come back, and I think that was the round that Sanders could have won.
Looking ahead, Teofimo Lopez Sr. expressed strong interest in a potential showdown between Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr., describing it as an extremely dangerous fight and possibly an even tougher challenge for Boots because of Ortiz's explosive power, relentless pressure, and aggressive fighting style. He suggested that a matchup of that magnitude would provide a true test for Ennis and answer even more questions about whether he deserves to be recognized as the clear #1 fighter at the top of the 154-pound division.
Or Vergil against Boots? That I really don't know. I think that Fedora will be a really tough fight for the fighter right now. But Fedora's like freaking 20 feet tall, so you think it's a very dangerous fight for Boots. We saw tonight, Sanders hurt him in the third round, and Boots was in big trouble. I think Vergil got more power than Sanders.
Chris Eubank Jr. gave Xander Zayas tremendous credit for the courage, toughness, and determination he displayed despite suffering defeat against Jaron Boots Ennis. Eubank praised the young champion for refusing to quit after being hurt, pointing out that many fighters today search for a way out when the pressure becomes overwhelming. In contrast, he said Zayas stood his ground, absorbed heavy punishment, and continued fighting without backing down. Eubank wrote, "Zayas had some real heart tonight. A lot of credit to that young man. So many fighters these days give up when they are hurt or in tough fights. He stood his ground and took his licks like a man. Still a big future ahead of that kid. But for right now, it's Boots time. Hell of a performance. One of the baddest men in boxing right now." Former unified lightweight champion George Kambosos Jr. also offered a balanced assessment of the matchup, drawing from his personal experience training alongside Xander Zayas for many years. Kambosos revealed that even when Zayas was only 16 years old, he could already see the qualities of a future world champion, praising his hunger, dedication, discipline, and relentless work ethic. He explained, "I trained with Xander for a very long time. Even at 16, I knew he was going to become a future world champion. He's a hungry, motivated athlete, and I love that he's stepping up to such a big challenge. But he's facing a super talented fighter in Boots. I think he'll surprise a lot of people, and it will be a close fight, but does he win? I really don't know. We'll have to see." Meanwhile, boxing analyst Wade praised Ennis for combining elite technical ability with a relentless offensive mindset. He described the performance as another reminder of why many consider Boots one of the most gifted fighters in boxing today, highlighting his ability to blend sharp counterpunching, explosive combinations, intelligent movement, and calculated aggression throughout the entire contest.
As a boxing fan, as a combat sports fan that wants boxing to be great again here in America, these are the type of fights you need. The best fighting the best in their prime. Xander Zayas is only 23 years old, 25-0, 13 knockouts. Boots Ennis, 35 wins, 31 knockouts. You got the boxer versus the puncher. Really a puncher that also knows how to box. And quite frankly, coming into this fight, I said, listen, mark it down. This is going to be a Boots knockout. I thought it would be relatively easy for Boots because Xander's, one, really young, two, not experienced at the level that Boots has fought at. And to be fair to Xander Zayas, Boots has never fought anyone this talent level of Xander Zayas. So there was going to be some questions that needed to be answered here, but for the most part, it was going to be not if, but when Boots would take over.
According to Wade Plemons, Jaron "Boots" Ennis took control of the fight from the very beginning by scoring a knockdown in the opening round and immediately forcing Xander Zayas onto the defensive. While he gave Zayas full credit for displaying tremendous heart, resilience, and determination throughout the contest, Plemons emphasized that Boots consistently won the key exchanges by beating his opponent to the punch, making smarter adjustments, and capitalizing on every opening with compact, accurate, and damaging counterpunches that gradually broke Zayas down as the fight progressed.
Like a southpaw left hand to right hook, back to left hand, I don't even remember, and it was just like Xander was so overwhelmed with the damage he was taking that he just hit the floor to get away from the punches. Like, it didn't even look like Xander got clipped with a super bad punch. I'm sure he was hurt, but it almost looked like his body was like, I just need to stop this barrage of punching and take a rest. And that's what he did. He goes down in the first round, and I was like, oh my Lord, we're going to get a first round stop. It's just going to be even easier than I thought. And shout out to Xander Zayas. He survives the round. Somehow, Xander, I mean, he's a Puerto Rican, so we know he's a tough cat. He gets out of the first round, and I thought, okay, well, this is where it goes downhill. This is where Boots Ennis snatches this fight up and then walks Xander down and knocks him out in the second round. But fair play to Xander. He survives the second round, started moving his feet more, getting his head off center line, started to catch the timing a little bit of Boots, and started to really find his way back into the fight, started to get his legs back after he got dropped in the first round. Still lost the round in round two, but it was a far better,
However, Wade Plemons emphasized that Jaron "Boots" Ennis quickly regained complete control of the fight through his superior adjustments, exceptional ring IQ, and ability to adapt as the contest unfolded. As the rounds progressed, Boots methodically broke Xander Zayas down with intelligent pressure, accurate combinations, and well-timed counterpunches before bringing the fight to a decisive conclusion in the seventh round. A relentless barrage of punches eventually forced the champion to take a knee, leaving the referee with no choice but to step in and wave the contest off, officially awarding Ennis the impressive stoppage victory.
Boots so good that I think gets lost with a lot of fighters at this level. It's how well his counterpunching is on the front foot and how well he makes the most out of short shots. When he throws hooks, he's not throwing these big wind up wraparound hooks. And this was a big point in this fight, was Xander Zayas would throw his hook and it would be wide, it would almost get to the target, and inside of his hook range, here would come Boots' hook in the same pocket, but it wasn't here, it was boom, right there inside, and it was so picture perfect. It was quicker to the target because he's so much more compact and technically sound with how he throws. He rips his hooks with his body and doesn't just throw the arm with the body. It's the body leads the arm. It's beautiful to watch, dude. It's something that's very hard for me to explain, but you know it when you see it, and I saw it all night in this fight. Them picking the same shot and Boots getting to the shot quicker and then throwing 2 or 3 more behind it because his body control as he throws the hook leads right into the other shot, into the other.
Following the victory, Wade Plemons strongly advocated for a showdown between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr., describing it as the natural next step in both fighters' careers and one of the most exciting matchups currently available in boxing. He believes the contest would pit 2 elite talents against each other at the perfect time, providing fans with a high-stakes battle while helping determine who truly belongs at the top of the 154-pound division.
But now, of course, the fight is Vergil Ortiz. They want to see the Vergil Ortiz fight. Ortiz stepped up and fought Madrimov after Madrimov looked good against Bud. It was supposed to be Ortiz and Boots Ennis already. And, whatever happened with the deal and DAZN taking over and Golden Boy and the whole thing. Now Vergil's going back to Golden Boy. Let's get the fight done. Vergil seems to want it. Bud wants it. Eddie wants it. I'm sure Oscar wants it. It's time. There's no reason for that not to be the fight. The only thing that would take my interest in that fight away completely is if one Terrence Bud Crawford decided to come out of retirement. Now, I highly doubt that's going to happen.
He also responded to recent comments from Terrence Crawford, expressing frustration with retired fighters who continue to criticize active competitors from the sidelines instead of acknowledging the challenges of competing at the highest level. He made it clear that his focus remains on the fighters currently stepping into the ring and proving themselves through action rather than words. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel because your continued support truly means a great deal to us. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more boxing news, fight analysis, and the latest updates.